Hi, we are Johnson and Co. CPA firm. We audit Walmart financial statement 2016. We conducted this audit in order to ensure Walmart's financial statements are fairly presented in compliance with accounting regulations, policies, and standards. We audit balance sheets of retained earnings, cash flows, and related notes to financial statements. I will introduce some basic information about Walmart. Walmart was founded by Sam Walton in 1962, incorporated on October 31st, 1969, and listed on New York Stock Exchange in 1972. Walmart begins with a small single discount store and the simple idea of selling more for less. Over the past 15 years, Walmart becomes the largest retail company in the world. It is staying on top by driving increased profitability and through maintaining price leaderships and aligning formats and channels with customers' needs. Some of their competitors across the markets, such as Amazon and Target, and some smaller chains of supermarkets in regions across the country. The Walmart US is the main part of Walmart business. 72.3% of the net sales is generated by Walmart US. Compared to previous years, Walmart US net sales is keep growing year after year. However, the sales for Walmart International segment decreased 9.4% and 0.4% for year 2016 and 15. Walmart indicated this primarily due to the negative impact from fluctuations in currency exchange rate and negative comparable sales in the negatively impact comparable sales in the UK and China. Its financial statements point out net sales for 2016 were negatively impacted by 17.1 billion or 3.5% as a result of fluctuation in currency exchange. She will introduce some risks that Walmart may face nowadays.
I'm going to talk about the risks and the challenges Walmart is facing right now. Traditional bricks and mortar retailers are struggling with declining foot traffic and falling profit margins as more customers shop online. To overcome this situation, Walmart has invested heavily in expanding its online sales and building out its distribution system. It also invested in remodeling hundreds of US stores. Some of the stores were closed and some of them upgraded to supercenters. In the meantime, Walmart is pushing down prices to attract more customers and reducing inventories to reduce their maintaining costs. Another challenge Walmart is facing right now is the reducing of foreign operation profit. As Lin mentioned earlier, Walmart's net sales has decreased by 17.1 billion because of the fluctuation of foreign currency exchange rate. However, the foreign currency exchange rate risk is not the only risk Walmart has to deal with. Management style, even the whole business model needs to be remodified to fit different cultures. Dealing with different governments and regulations raise the management risk of Walmart. Next, Tyler will present some facts about our audit.
Hello, my name is Taylor Cox and I am an auditor for Johnson & Johnson Company. And I have been delighted to work with 4 auditors on my team. We were assigned to work on workforce to audit Walmart's financial statements to express our opinion on whether we believe that they are free from material misstatement or fraud. The parts that I was particularly responsible for was the risk analysis and the preliminary estimates of the company. Then the next part I was responsible for was the analytical procedures. And finally, the last part that was my responsibility was the auditor's report. I will now talk about the risk analysis and the preliminary misstatements. We as a group have decided to audit Walmart's inventory system because we do see potential risks of fraud or material misstatements considering the amount of inventory that does go in and out of Walmart on a daily basis. The way that we approach this situation is by first assessing our independence from the company. We looked into our backgrounds of all 5 of our auditors and looked at Walmart's team, top management team, and came to an assessment that we are independent from each other and that there should be no form of bribery that could interfere with the quality of this audit. The next thing that I was directly responsible for was the analytical procedures. I took a look at Walmart's financial statements from their 10K and analyzed their net income. From analyzing their net income and looking at their internal control system, I have decided to give the company a 5% material misstatement risk. So what that means is that I looked at each of the accounts and I allocated that 5% risk across all important accounts for the company and came to an amount that is allowable for risk. The last thing that I was directly responsible for was the auditor's report. The auditor's report is just a reiteration of what we as an audit team are responsible for and what Walmart is responsible for. So we as an audit team, we were responsible for auditing the financial statements and expressing our opinion. We have come to the opinion that we believe that the financial statements that Walmart has presented are fairly represented and are free from financial fraud and material misstatement. And then part of the auditor's report is expressing the management's representation. Management's responsibility is to make sure that the internal controls that they have implemented are effective and work well for the company.
Today I will be doing a little research on the test and internal controls of Walmart. Valuation of inventory is a huge aspect of large retail stores. Therefore, it is crucial to find out the procedures used to account for it. Also, Walmart recently just changed an internal control relating to the misappropriation of accounting standards 840 leases. I found it very necessary to further research this subject.
Before we get into Riley's research and his findings, we took a tour of the store in order to see if they had any material weaknesses or anything that we found would be a weakness in their inventory system. As you can see, Walmart is a very large store with a lot of large items and quite a large inventory. There are many places where we felt that they could have weaknesses. Therefore, we decided to poll some of the current employees to see if they are aware of any of the inventory management systems or anything else in place at Walmart.
Inventory management system Walmart uses in this store?
I know they have they use their telecom, the MC40s to basically mention certain inventories that they have in stock. So.
And do you know how often you guys take inventory of the store? What's in the store?
I would say pretty much. I would say 1 to 2 times a week. I would say.
And it probably is a no, but can I get a quick tour behind in the inventory or where you guys get inventory? Definitely not.
As you can see, I wasn't able to get a tour of where Walmart takes stocks and where they get their inventory from. Although this may seem fairly small, this does prove that Walmart does have internal controls in place within their store. They don't allow outsiders to take stock or take view of where they take their inventory in. This prevents theft and also helps employees keep track of the store and their equipment. I kept wandering through the store in hopes to see some of this employee management and stock management system at work. I hope to see maybe if I took an item off the shelf that they'd use the RFID technology to maybe restock it. We tried in the sporting goods section, but didn't have that much luck. But my quest wasn't over. My goal to find an employee who didn't know what inventory management system continued, until we found one that didn't.
Hi. Do you know what kind of inventory management system Walmart uses?
Inventory?
Yeah, the management system for Walmart. Do you know what kind of system they use?
After finding an employee who didn't know what the inventory management system was, we decided to talk to the manager and to see if he could give us a little bit of insight into Walmart and their day-to-day. Although an employee didn't know what the management system was, they were a low-level employee who wasn't the manager. Talking to the manager gave us a little bit more insight into the accuracy and how well management was able to maintain a good inventory.
I was wondering if you tell me how you evaluate your inventory.
In many ways.
Many ways. Can you give us an example?
Computer system.
Computer system.
We do it by eye. Our associates do counts. What we call DIT, right? We do daily counts every day at a different section.
And then how effective would you say?
For the most part, I'm going to say probably 95, 98%.
98%. Okay.
If providing the counts are being done the way they're supposed to be, and providing my associates are doing their job,
Yeah.
department managers, I should say the department managers are doing their job.
Okay.
If they're doing their job correctly, the counts are usually spot on.
Okay. And have you had any big recent problems with computer systems?
No, Walmart, one of the things about Walmart, that's one of the things that they do invest money in. They invest money in their computer system.
Okay.
And they try to stay up to date as much as possible.
Okay.
So, and then a lot of our ordering is automatic generated. So what happens with that is we sell something off the shelf. The minute it scans through the register,
Yeah.
it goes to our corporate office and it's tallied. If something comes in, it's a 6 tag.
So the perpetual kind of.
Yeah, exactly right.
Exactly, yep.
Exactly right.
You say it's effective use of throwing it down?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It actually is, and we're able to do. We're one of the few companies now that does inventory once a year
Oh, yeah, okay.
because of the things that they're putting into place to keep our inventory spot on during the year.
So would you guys say Walmart exceeds comparing to all the other retail industry?
I would say that. Well, I'm going to say that anyway because I worked. But yeah, I would.
You would?
I would.
All right.
All right.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, man.
Hey,
Appreciate
thanks for having me.
it.
All in all, after our audit, and after spending time in Walmart stores, talking to employees and talking to managers, we've come to the conclusion that Walmart does effectively manage their inventory, and they are effectively making sure that employees are up to date and making sure that everything is going according to plan. This keeps with the vision that Walmart's founder had as being a great discount store. Not only that, but they're keeping time and keeping ahead of the times and making sure that everything is going smoothly.